Even though Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus is literally only 1 day officially old at this point, we've got a brand new Unearthed Arcana. It's called Eloquent Heroics, and we're talking all about bards and paladins. So if you want to see what's contained within, and my probably very opinionated thoughts upon it, stay tuned. So here we are on the Unearthed Arcana page for Bard and Paladin. I haven't actually had a chance to read through this yet, so we're going to go through it together. We have Bardic College feature, College of Eloquence, and the Oath of Heroism for the Paladins. It's interesting, we don't get a lot of Paladins in Unearthed Arcana, so that's always interesting. Also, with all of these new subclass Unearthed Arcana coming out or so rapid fire, that clearly means if what we saw in the past is anything similar, we're going to be getting a book in a similar vein of Xanathar's Guide to Everything probably early next year, and they're playtesting all of the different subclasses they're planning to release now. Remember, this happened pretty back-to-back rapid fire leading up to Xanathar's release, where we were getting almost every week a new Unearthed Arcana, and the cadence of it this time is even faster. So it sounds like this has already been in development for a while, and prior to that, we basically had nothing. We had pretty much a dry spell of Unearthed Arcana for a while, and now that's been rectified. So let's take a look right here. So, Bard College of Eloquence. This is an oratory master, so finally kind of one of your spoken word bards. Universal Speech at level 3. You gain the ability to speak and reason with any creature. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 use of Bardic Inspiration. When you do so, roll your Bardic Inspiration die and choose a number of creatures within 60 feet of you that you can see equal to the roll. For 10 minutes, the chosen creatures can magically understand you, regardless of the language you speak, and you have advantage on charisma checks made to influence them. This feature works even on a creature that doesn't speak any languages. So you can choose any number of creature within 60 feet equal to that roll. So this is obviously going to progress better the higher you are, or the higher level you are within Bard. And for 10 minutes, they can understand you. So this is pretty interesting because this essentially gives you a very limited tongues spell. Although it looks like they can understand you, magically understand you, and you have advantage on charisma checks made to influence them. However, it doesn't say that you can understand them. So it's basically just everything you say they can understand, but doesn't sound like they can speak back to you. But this could be anywhere from a 1 to 12 person, I guess, if in the high levels, tongues spell. And it's interesting to see a different use for Bardic Inspiration. You also get at level 3, Soothing Words. You can now cast Calm Emotions without expending a spell slot. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Charisma mod, and you get all uses back when you finish a long rest. So that's pretty interesting in that it's giving you a freebie spell up to 5 times per long rest. So that's just giving you additional expenditures of spells, which is something we've been talking about a lot lately that we like to see. At 6, you get Undeniable Logic. You can spin words laced with magic into a knot of reasoning that can be encouraging or impossible to follow. As a bonus action, expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration. When you do so, choose a creature you can see within 60 feet that can hear you. When you roll, then you roll your Bardic Inspiration and choose one of the following. It takes psychic damage equal to the number on the die. It must make an intelligence saving throw against your spell save DC or have disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. That's interesting because it's sort of like a mind sliver cantrip that they released in the last Unearthed Arcana, but tied to Bardic Inspiration. Or the creature regains hit points equal to the number you roll on the Bardic Inspiration die, and the creature has advantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. So it is a bonus action, so it's a bonus action D6 to D12 of healing or D6 to D12 of damage. It scales a little poorly, honestly, for a use of your Bardic Inspiration. It is only working on 1 creature, and you have better uses just in the base Bardic Inspiration and Universal Speech, I feel like. This would be really good in like a pinch, right? You know, someone's down and you need to get them back up and you're all out of spell slots, let's say. Or you're really trying to you're low on resources and you're trying to do, I guess, psychic damage to someone and make them have disadvantage on saves against spells. But I feel like it doesn't seem right if it's scaled if there was additional dice, maybe not just the Bardic Inspiration die. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm too keen on that. And then Infectious Inspiration. When a creature adds one of your Bardic Inspiration dice to its ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and the throw fails, they can keep the Bardic Inspiration die. In addition, when a creature adds one of your Bardic Inspiration die to its ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and it succeeds, you can use your reaction to encourage a different creature, other than yourself, that can hear you within 60 feet of you, giving it a Bardic Inspiration die without expending any of your Bardic Inspiration uses. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier, and you regain them all when you finish a long rest. So see right here, this ability encourages you to give out your Bardic Inspiration to your allies, so using it here to heal or damage seems kind of a waste, because you get them probably at level 14 anyway, the most bang for your buck out of giving your other allies Bardic Inspiration, hoping they succeed in using it, and then transferring it to somebody else up to 5 times, Charisma modifier times per long rest. So these kind of, I don't know, are counterintuitive. I'm not too keen on the Bard. Let's check out the Paladin. Oath of Heroism, an affirmation of a destined path, one laid out for you by divine hands. Tenets, actions over words, challenges are but tests, embrace destiny, hone the body. The spells you get for this oath are Expeditious Retreat and Guiding Bolt. That's pretty good. Bonus action dash as a paladin and a long range spell. Enhance ability, Enthrall's not great. Haste is huge as a paladin, especially when you hit level 11 and you're dealing your extra improved divine smite damage. Protection from energy, situational but useful. Compulsion and freedom of movement. And then Commune and Conjure Volley is kind of a weird one, but maybe that gets explained when we dive a little further into it. All right, Channel Divinity, level 3. Peerless Athlete. You can use your Channel Divinity to augment your athleticism with Divine Favor. As a bonus action, you gain advantage on all Strength Athletics and Dex Acrobatics checks for the next 10 minutes. So that's good. That's useful. I find Channel Divinity is either really useful or really not, depending on the Paladin. So it has a out-of-combat use. And remember, Channel Divinities do return on a short rest, so that could be useful. And Legendary Strike, when you can use your Channel Divinity as a bonus action to guide your attacks. Oh, this is fantastic. For 1 minute, your weapon attack scores a critical hit on a 19 or 20 on the d20. That's fantastic. That's great. That's an excellent use for that. All right, Mighty Deed, level 7. This is typically where paladins get an aura, so let's see what we get here. Whenever you score a critical hit, which could now be a 19 or 20 based on the previous feature, one or more creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your Charisma modifier, minimum 1, maximum likely 5. All the chosen creatures are affected by one of the following effects of your choice. They gain temporary hit points equal to a d6 plus your Charisma mod. The creature must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be frightened of you until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until the start of your next turn. So this is always on. And it's whenever you score a crit or drop a creature to 0 hit points. You have to do the dropping though. You can either, and again, synergizing with your level 19 or your level 3 ability, critting on possibly a 19 or 20. Haste is giving you more opportunities to attack as well. And yeah, you could potentially give temporary hit points to allies, up to 5 allies, potentially, right, with a 20 charisma mod, or a fear effect. And this is every turn, so it's constantly staying up. So I like this. I prefer auras better, but I like that this, again, synergizes with abilities we've already seen, and it just helps to... It's a thing that you're not going to have a limited use of. It's just going to, as long as you can either knock someone down or crit, you're going to get it. 15, you get Glorious Defense. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use a reaction to gain a bonus to AC against the attack, potentially causing it to miss. The bonus equals your Charisma modifier. If the attack misses, you can make one weapon attack against the attacker as part of this reaction. So one thing paladins typically don't have is good bonus action utility, long-ranged capability, or reaction use other than opportunity attacks. So we're getting long range in the form of Guiding Bolt. We're getting a whole extra action in the form of Haste. And now this time we now have a reaction that we can use every single turn. Whenever you are hit, you can add potentially a 1 to 5 to your AC rather, which is just a typed, just a numerical bonus. So if you are a plate mail wielding shield-wielding paladin. You're starting with a 20 AC. If you have a 20 charisma, you could, as a reaction, bump your AC up to 25. Every turn, you could do this. And if this causes the attack to miss, you can then make a free attack as part of that. So you're getting all of the benefits that you normally get if someone leaves the area as far as an opportunity attack, aka a reaction free attack against someone. But also you can do this by causing an attack to miss you. And then it's just the AC just against that attack. But at this point you have improved Divine Smite, so you're dealing 2d8 minimum typically if you're wielding a d8 weapon and your extra d8 radiant damage, and there's no reason you couldn't smite on the reaction-based attack from this. And lastly, at level 20, we have a Living Myth. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 10 minutes. You are blessed with otherworldly comeliness, gaining advantage on all charisma checks. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause that attack to hit instead. And if you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to just succeed. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So again, it is a capstone ability, and I do find that the Paladin capstones are usually pretty solid. They're usually some form of transformation. This is a once per long rest as a bonus action. But whenever you make an attack once on each of your turn, when you miss, you can cause that attack to just hit instead. Fantastic. So that is it for this guide. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Not a huge fan of the Bard, honestly, but the Paladin is just solid overall. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like these? What would you like to see? I think, again, Paladins are usually pretty powerful in 5th edition in general, and this kind of personifies that even further. Yeah, I think we're going to get a new sort of source book probably in like the March or April of next year, and it's going to be a class-based source book. Right? It usually goes class, race, class, race. So we had Volos was races. We had Xanathars, which was classes. We had Mordenkainen, which was races. We are now due for a class-based source book. And I'm not counting Eberron because it's a campaign setting, so this sounds like that's what that'll be. If you don't know, guys, we do stream on the channel every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening on our Twitch channel. There'll be a link in the description if you'd like to check that out. And if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see more D&D content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time.